Well, here we go again. But this time I have to wait, I think 2 minutes before I say some bad language. But the first thing I want to say is this thing about September 25th and Sammy the Bull. This is not a threat or an act of violence, because we do not need that, and there's no way in the world that I'm going to fight a guy who's 75 years old or 76, however old he is, it doesn't matter. There are a few people who think that's the case. I thought it was clear. This is not in any way a challenge to a fight at all. I just want to see if he'll show up, because he says a lot of things. He acts tough. And to be honest, he's got nothing to lose but everything to gain when you think about it. He's the world's biggest informant, I would say, in history, if not the biggest, but the most popular. He's got a good following. And by him showing up, think of this. It's going to tell the world that he really doesn't give a fuck like he says. And, eventually he'll die. One day, 80s maybe. Who knows? Maybe he lives to 90. Who knows? This fuck might live to, I hope that was past 2 minutes. He might live to 110. Damn dinosaur. But in this day and age with technology, there's no way anybody in the world is going to do anything to harm this guy. They would just be stupid. Completely idiotic. And that's the other reason for calling it out in a public area, a huge public area, Central Park. Now, someone made a good point, sent me a comment. The comment was meant to be a douchebag comment, but he actually had a point. When you call someone out, a real call out, if you got a beef, you don't do it in public. It's quiet. It's behind closed doors. It's in a basement. And you handle business. Number one, he wouldn't show. That's number one. Number two, it probably wouldn't even get aired on YouTube. I mean, think about it. And number three, he's 80 years old, almost 80. So it's stupid in all directions. But the person made a good point. You don't call someone out if you mean to harm them or to do any sort of violence. You just don't do that. We don't need more problems in this country. We don't need a frickin' free-for-all in the middle of Central Park. We just need to get together. That's it. Let's see if Sammy the Bull can actually live up to his name. He's got plenty of bodyguards. He's got plenty of people on his side. And for everyone who says that I don't have anybody or I don't know anybody in New York, or I never was this or I never was that, we're just going to have to see. Either I'm completely out of my mind and would go to Central Park, or I might have a few friends. Did you hear that? Fuck. I think Sammy might try to whack me. Anyway. So, September 25th, Central Park. Sammy's going to show. We might have to sell tickets. Now, let's get down to the beautiful story. Japanese whiskey. It says, I don't know what the fuck it says. Ching Chong Chang. We'll see. Now, Sammy, I love using Sammy. I'll tell you why. Because he talks so much shit. And I could just sit there watching his videos. He's got some good stories, but there's so many lies that I can't keep up with it. Like the average person probably could. But after about one or two lies, I'm lost. I'm like, okay, I can't go on, because I could take one video and we could talk for 4 days about it. But this one stuck out. Someone sent me a clip and asked me a question, and it had nothing to do with that question, but it was something. He was talking about a tattoo, and then John Gotti. That's what it was, John Gotti. And he said that John Gotti went to prison and didn't know how to conduct himself. Now, I find that hard to believe. Actually, I find that very hard to believe. John Gotti not knowing how to conduct himself in prison. I can see Sammy the Bull not knowing how to conduct himself in prison. As a matter of fact, I can see Sammy the Bull doing things in prison that he sure the fuck wouldn't do on the street. He said John disrespected a black gentleman. Okay, possibly. He said John got his ass whooped by a black guy. Possibly. Then he said John paid a contract to kill this black guy and then some other people. Nah, I doubt that very highly. I don't think John would have to pay to get a black guy clipped in prison. Matter of fact, he probably wouldn't have to pay anybody to get someone clipped in prison. Then he goes on to say that there was this big indictment, but John wasn't, he was an unindicted co-defendant. What that means is your name's not on the indictment. Don't you find that awfully coincidental that he lays down this entire story about John Gotti, but at the very end, John Gotti's name's not on the indictment? I smell bullshit. So, you can take half of what he says and believe it, and the other half throw it out fucking garbage. Let's talk about the Aryan Brotherhood. Those are some tough motherfuckers. I know. You know, that could be a problem for Sammy at Central Park. I would hope not, but everyone else, no. Aryan Brotherhood, he tells a story about, it was so much bullshit I can't remember the whole thing, but the bottom line was they had so much respect for him that they gave him permission to wear a tattoo on his arm of Odin, which apparently nobody in prison can wear this tattoo unless you're an AB, Aryan Brotherhood, okay? If you wear this tattoo, they will skin it off you. That's what he says. I believe that, okay? Here's the problem with that. He claims that they went up to him and said, okay, you're not one of us, you're mafioso. But for some reason, they really loved him. And they gave him permission to wear this tattoo of Odin on his arm. At first he thought, you know, maybe I should. Oh, if I don't, then it'd be disrespectful. So he says, fuck it. He's going to put this tattoo of Odin on his arm. And it goes on and on. And then he takes his sleeves and he's walking down the compound with a tattoo of Odin on his arm. Now let me tell you where this is wrong in many directions. First of all, if you're in the mob at any time, you can't take a tattoo of someone else. You just can't do it. It's like saying a Colombo guy is going to go around with a Gambino tattoo. That'd go over real nice, wouldn't it? There might have even been a rule years ago about no tattoos. I might be wrong on that. Something I heard my father, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but shit changes. The tattoo that Sammy got was a protection tattoo. He got stamped. So here's what happened. He claims John Gotti paid people protection money. In other words, John was scared. He needed protection money. He needed people to protect him in prison, so he had to pay out, so he would be safe. Sammy the Bull ratted on who knows how many people. Who the fuck do you think is going to need the protection? Sammy the Bull. So he concocts this story about the Aryan Brotherhood loving him so much that he gets their tattoo. But what he doesn't tell you is the tattoo symbolizes, do not touch, he belongs to us. Who do you think was paying the protection money? Don't forget, a part of Sammy's deal of cooperating, He got to keep millions of dollars. He kept millions of dollars on top of the cooperation. Sammy was loaded. Now, we know he was in protective custody, but with money, there's things you can do. So, everyone go back, watch the video. He likes to, there's some truths. Of course there's truths, but he likes to put down people, especially like John Gotti. He put John away for life. John didn't talk. He died in prison. And Sammy gets a tattoo of Odin because they love him. No. Sammy got punked out. Okay? So Sammy had to walk around with a stamp on his arm, and he does today, of Odin. And by him saying this is the worst part of him even saying this on YouTube. He's actually saying to the Aryan Brotherhood that they allow rats. It's okay to be a rat. You can wear our tattoo. You're a snitch. Nobody's going to touch you because we accept rats. That's the message. That's how come it's so fucking wrong. There's no way in a million years the Aryan Brotherhood is going to tell the world's most famous rat to wear their tattoo unless it's a stamp. He got punked out. It was an off-limit stamp. He belongs to us because he's paying us to protect him. That's the truth. There you go. How simple is that? So, wow. Salute. And now I can have a sip because I can. And September 25th, Central Park. And as everyone knows, as I said last time, my wife passed. And the next video we'll do, I'm going to do a great story about her. This is not about violence at Central Park. I'm a single dad. I have a child. No violence. All right? This is all about him. Running his mouth, seeing if he'll show up. People say he's an old man. Okay, he can still show up. He's busy. He's trying to make money. Oh, if he shows up, he'll make more money than ever made in his whole entire life. Well, I can't say that. He'll make a lot of money now, but he's made some money before. But right now, he's got nothing to lose and everything to gain. So, Sammy, I'll be there.